Hey makeup friends, today I'm going to be sharing with you the new upcoming collection from Odens called the Saga of Freja. Let's get into this. As always, I want to start off by welcoming you back to my channel, or if you are new here, then hello and welcome. My name is Kara, and on my channel we like to mix beauty, brains, and the occasional F-bomb. Now, the astute amongst you will see I've got yet another new thing in the background. This was given to me for my birthday by my beautiful bestie Erin, and I love it so much. It just says, "Be a decent human being," and all the embroidery was done by her sister Jessie. She has an Etsy shop, and I'm going to link it down below in case you have any embroidery needs. But at any rate, I wanted to put that in the background. All right, so we have a lot of ground to cover today, but first of all, I want to thank Odens for sending this collection out to me in PR. I nearly fell over when I opened up the box. First of all, everything is so beautiful, but also there's just so much. I was overwhelmed in the best possible way, and I'm just so humbled and so grateful. Like, I do not take this PR stuff lightly. I don't take it for granted. I'm not entitled to anything, and I'm just so very, very grateful when I do receive anything. And certainly receiving an entire collection like this has knocked my socks off. But it's not nearly as fun just keeping it to myself. I want to share it with you. So let's start off with some of the accessories that are going to be available in this collection. So one is a bow. I believe they're going to have a variety of colors to choose from: black, pink, blue, and possibly red, I believe. Obviously, I've got the black one here. It's a very large bow. It just has like a nice little clip on the back. I have the feeling that the bow is going to wear me and I'm not going to wear the bow, so I'm not sure just how much use I personally am going to get out of it, but I do think it's very cute. I don't know that my daughter will wear it, but oddly enough, my son most definitely will. He will love this, so I might give it to him to play with. I don't know, maybe I can pull it off. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. I'll play around with it, but at any rate, it's a cute little addition. There is also a gorgeous makeup bag. So this is like all velvety kind of feeling. I have seen it in blue as well, but obviously I've got the pink one here, and it says Saga of Freja and Odens on the cover. And then when you open it up, it has a really nice layout inside. So there's like little individual pockets for brushes to go in, and then the little overlay here to keep the brushes from getting everything else dirty. In here, you've got like this sort of waterproof kind of container, but it also pops out, so you can use that individually on its own or keep it inside here, however you want to do it. But I thought it was a really nice addition. It's really nicely made. It's got like a nice double zipper on it, nice handle. I can see myself getting a lot of use out of this, so I really enjoy this aspect. But that is not all. They've also got a brush set. And first of all, the container that the brushes come in is beautiful. You've got this blue to pink ombre. It says Freja on the side, and then Odens up here. And then there are a selection of 6 brushes as well. And again, the handles on these have that same pink to blue ombre going on. There's a nice selection of shapes in here. I haven't used them yet, but we're going to in today's look. But they are very nice and soft, and I'm curious to see how they perform. And now it is time for the stars of the show. There are 3 palettes included in this collection. 2 of them are 9-pan palettes, and then one guy over here has 18 pans in it. So I'm going to walk you through the palettes, and then we're going to do an eye look, test out the brushes, see how we get on with this formula, and then we're going to wrap it up. So first, So the first palette here is called Chapter 1, Tears of Freja. It has beautiful artwork that carries through onto the inside, and then opening it up, you can see those 9 pans in there. Now I have done swatches previously, so I am going to insert little videos of them. Some of these pans were like little multicolored, and of course in swatching them I've disturbed that, but these are beautiful, beautiful palettes. I really like the warm tones that I see going on in here, but I think the next one I like even more. So this one is Chapter 2, Cat with Golden Carriage. And there is the artwork on that palette. And again, the inside and on the back. I really like this little line down here. It says, "To all the cats in the world." So, quick update. My cat Gracie, she's doing so much better. It's amazing what just a little bit of insulin can do. We actually caught her playing the other night, and I was almost in tears because I haven't seen her play and I can't remember the last time. So I'm so happy she's feeling better. She looks so much better. Like it's been like night and day difference, and I'm so grateful that she's feeling better. But back to this palette for now. Here is the color story, and I love this so much. I love the play of the teal and the blue. I love the mix of finishes that's going on in there. This is a beautiful palette. And then last, but certainly not least, we have the 18 pan palette here. This is the Saga of Freja palette. And again, if I just lift it out, and this one looks like a storybook. So you open it up, and there is one set of 9, and then flip the pages, if you will, and there is the other set. So like I said, I am going to insert the swatches. What I can say is that these finger swatch beautifully. These shimmer shadows that are in here, they are not playing around. These bring some serious intensity. The mattes themselves are very soft and smooth feeling. There's no dryness to any of these shadows. The shimmer shadows have a real creamy aspect to them, and I'm just really excited to play with these palettes. Now, I am also, admittedly, a little bit overwhelmed. I essentially have 4 9-pan palettes to work with here. So this is just going to be a first impressions. I just wanted you to be able to see what the collection is going to entail. I will have the information down below on the launch information. As far as I'm aware, it's June 17th, but I'm going to confirm that and I will put the information down below. So for today, we're just going to play with these eyeshadows, and I am really having a hard time deciding which way I want to go. I have seen that 2 of my friends, Amy Loves Makeup and Karen Harris, have both done their initial first impression videos on this collection as well. And both of them went in the more teal kind of way with the eyeshadows. So I am going to resist the urge to play with this palette here. I will link their videos down below. So if you want to see them create looks using those teal shadows, please go and check their videos out. But I think, yes, I am going to go with this one here, part of the Saga of Freja palette. So I'm going to use these shades in here. And let me tell you, when I swatched this silver, I damn near fell out of my chair. It is so intense. It is so beautiful. Look at that. And it's just like velvety smooth. It's gorgeous. So I may incorporate that. I may not. We'll see. I haven't planned this out, but let's get into it. All right, so I'm going to start with the FR1 brush, and I'm going to pick up this pink matte shade up here. I've already primed my eyes with the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Base in medium. It's had a chance to dry down, so there's no real tackiness, although sometimes it does creep up into the creases of my eyes. So I'm just going to smooth that out. And I'm probably going to speed up the footage while we do this, but I will give you my thoughts on these shadows as we go through it. So here we go. I'm just going to place that just above the crease and blend it across. I'm not looking to do a particularly intricate look today. I really just want to apply these as I normally would, just to see how they blend, how they apply, all of that good stuff. I can say right off the hop, there's a lot of pigmentation to this matte, and this brush is very soft. There is nothing scratchy with these bristles at all, and I think it's doing a good job at blending this shadow out. All right, no complaints with that shadow. So now I'm going to go in with the FR2 brush. It's just a little bit smaller than the previous one. And I'm going to use that to pick up this matte shade here and then concentrate that more into the crease of my eye. again, I can see just how pigmented this shadow is. And again, this brush is doing a really nice job of applying it. It's picked up the shadow nicely, and again, no scratchiness whatsoever. These brushes are very soft. Again, very impressed with the pigmentation and blendability of that shade. I didn't have to build it up. It was just what you see is what you get, and I'm really impressed by that. So now I'm going to go in with the FR6 brush, and I'm going to pick up this deepest shade that's in the palette, this nice dark brown down here. I'm going to run that under my lower lash line, and I may bring it up a little bit towards the outer portion of the upper lid. We will see. It's sort of a work in progress. I'm making this up on the fly. All right, let's see how this one goes. So I'm only going to bring that about halfway across the lower lash line, just so that my eyes don't become too like closed off and small. Again, this is blending so nicely. I'll probably go in with that other light brown that's in there just to smoke it out a little bit, but it is blending really nicely under there. Okay, I'm going to stick with the same brush, and I am going to bring some up onto that outer portion just to create a little bit of dimension up on the upper lid. So I'm just going to pat it into place, and then I will blend from there. I'm going to connect it with where I've placed the shadow on the lower lash line as well, just so that it looks complete and unified, all that good stuff. All right, now just to soften everything up and just blend it out, I'm going to go back with that FR2 brush. I haven't picked up any additional product, but I'm going to use that to blend out the edges of that deepest shadow. All right, so like I said, I am going to use this lighter matte brown shade, and I'm going to use that to buff out my lower lash line. And for that, I'm going to use this brush here, which is the FR4. It's kind of like a chubby, flat-ish shader brush. So I'm just going to pick some of that brown shadow up just on the edge, tap off the excess, drop the brush, and then apply. Now, before we move on to any of these shimmer shadows, I just want to round out my thoughts on the mattes. They blend so nicely. I am really enjoying the application of these shadows, and I will say there's not a lot of kick up in the pan, like hardly any at all. I don't see any fallout on my face, so I'm really enjoying the mattes. They're not super powdery. There's not like big plumes of dust and whatnot coming off of them. I'm really enjoying those. Now, shall we do like a half cut crease just for the lulz? Yes, yes we shall. Let's do that. So, okay. So I've got just a little bit of the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Base and then a very flat shader brush here. This one is part of the Birthstone collection from BH Cosmetics. And I'm just going to pick a tiny bit of that up just on the very tip. I'm actually going to pat the excess off on the back of my hand. And then I'm just gonna go a little bit above where the crease of my eye is. Because I have hooded eyes, I kind of have to go a quarter mile above where the actual crease is in order for anything to show up. So I'm just going to apply that very lightly. And I instantly regret this brush choice. So we're gonna switch gears. Oh, sorry, in looking for a brush, I just remembered there's one other item in this collection, and it's one of those like color switch things, except this one's really cute. It's got a little heart in the middle. There, and it's a really big size. I have one of the like mini ones that you can get from Sephora. You can see the size difference there. So I like that. Anyways, it just caught my eye. I thought I would add that in here. Okay, this BH Cosmetics brush is too fat for what I want it to do. Not to body shame you, brush, but you're not helping me. So I'm gonna go in with this little tiny craft brush. This is one from Simply Simmons, the number 4. I got it at Michael's for like $1.50 or something. And it's fantastic because it's just so skinny. Okay, take 2. Let's try this again. Much better. It's not a super stark contrast, but I can add a little bit more of that base now that I've got like the outline, and just build that up a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to use this larger shading brush here. This is the FR3. Oh my God, I can't hold on to anything today. Good Lord. And I'm going to use that to sort of just pat and blend out that concealer, if you will, or eye base. Just so that it's not super tacky, because it does have a habit of creasing up if I don't sheer it out a bit. All right, so now we have got that out of the way, it's time to go in with some shimmer shadows. And while I'm very tempted to keep everything bright, I can't resist this gorgeous shimmery cranberry shade in the middle. So I am going to apply some of that. I'm going to use that same fluffy shader brush. I'm not entirely sure what you call this brush, to be honest. It is the FR3. This is what I use to pat out the base, and I'm just going to pick up some of that center shade here and just see how it applies. I'm going to place it about halfway and then blend it into those deeper shadows on the outer portion. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh my goodness. This is most definitely not a particularly precise brush, but I'm frankly not too concerned about it because the structure of my eye is such that when I open it, that is going to transfer up anyways. So I'm not too concerned about being hyper precise. I'm really just more interested in testing out the brush and getting this gorgeous color on my lid. I'm not going to take it all the way to the outer V, but you can see the placement there. Oh, that's beautiful. I love what these kind of tones do for my eye color. Okay. Thank God for editing, because the amount of time I have just spent hemming and hawing over whether I want to go with the gold shimmer or the pink shimmer, it's a little ridiculous. What I have decided to do, though, is the gold. I'm going to use this shade right up here, and that's going to complete the very inner portion of my eyelid. And for that, I'm going to use the last brush in the collection, and this is the FR5 brush, which is a very densely packed little shader brush. So there is a little bit of crumbling in the pan with this brush. It's not terrible, but just wanted to mention it. So because this shadow is a wee bit crumbly like that, I am going to hit it with a little bit of setting spray just so that we don't get a ton of fallout into the inner portion of my eyes. I am going to tap off the excess and then just give her a little spritz just to hold it all together. And then I'll pat that onto this very inner portion and then blend it into that cranberry shade. All right, I'm not super in love with how that's applying, just not quite as impactful as I was hoping for. So I'm just going to pick up that shade on my baby finger and just pat it into place. Oh, there she is. So this does apply a lot nicer with my finger than it does even with the setting spray on the brush. Yeah, there we go. That is much more impressive that way. For my inner corner, I'm going to reach for a brush that isn't included in this set. This one is from Vallear and it is the E09. It's just a really tiny pencil brush. And I'm going to pick up this shade here called Crush. Again, the shadow is moving a little bit underneath the brush, so we'll see how it applies. But again, I am going to use the setting spray just to give it as much structural integrity as I can, if you will, just because I don't want it all like transferring down. That is so pretty. For my brow bone highlight, I'm going to use the highlighter that I have on my cheeks today. This is from Dior. It's the, what is this? The Dior Skin Nude Luminizer in shade 2. I'm just going to run a little bit of it just under the arch there. And then just blend it out with my finger so it's not too harsh. All right, I'm going to apply some liner and mascara and then I will come back for the final look. And there is the final look. I really like how this turned out. I really love the play of the gold and the cranberry shades. Those mattes are so impressive. The shimmers, a little bit more effort to work with. I find that they apply much nicer with a finger than the brush, but I'm going to continue playing around with them. Of course, this is just a first impressions. And to round out the look, for lipstick, I used this one here from Gucci. It's in the shade My Cousin Rachel. Just wanted to keep it really sort of my lips but better, just so that the focus could be on the eyes. So there we have it, guys. That is the new upcoming collection, the Saga of Freja from Odens. So I would love to hear from you in the comments below if any of these items pique your interest. Is there anything that you're particularly excited about? Do you plan on picking up the whole collection? Any items? All of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments down below. And again, I'll just remind you that I will have the information on the launch in the description box, so be sure to go and check that out. And with all of that said, I'm going to wrap the video up here. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.